Welcome to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. I'm Mike Griffith, Bakersfield, California, motorsports writer. I know who I am. And we are in the Auto Club Famoso Raceway segment. I've got Blake Mauser in. I know who Blake is. He's going to turn his phone off because Blake's in here. We're going to talk about Famoso, but you got a graduation coming up.
I do, tomorrow.
You were talking about. You have to get ready for that.
My youngest daughter.
Eighth
Congratulations, grade? 8th grade, and she is graduating valedictorian.
Well, that's
from
good.
Her junior high.
And what are you doing special for her then?
Well,
she gets to graduate.
We got a lot of family here, though.
You got a lot of family. That's things, people coming in.
Her grandmother here from Montana and her aunt from Washington, so they're all here to
that's
celebrate.
Good, and that's what graduations and those type of things are about. I've got a wedding coming up on June 10th at my house, which I understand now is about 190 people.
It's growing.
And my daughter is en route from Missouri as we speak, and my son will be flying out from Missouri. So that's I understand this whole thing. So
we're going to get that done. Then we're going to head up next week and see our nephew graduate up in Washington. So we're going to return the favor. I'll head up there. So yeah.
So you've got the graduation, but not a lot of time to party, and you can't do anything on the weekend because
we're racing this weekend.
You're racing, but what did you do last weekend?
Last weekend, I got my backyard all in shape, got everything ready to go, and did a little barbecuing. And
stayed home.
Watched some racing. I watched the end of the Indy 500. So
that was good.
So you sat down and watched that.
That was a pretty good ending.
Just a survival.
I bet you thought Elio was going to win, huh?
Well, they sure were. They were lining him up there as far as all the power plants. They were certainly thinking he had the, he
took the lead and then lost it back. But anyway, so that's good. So you got a little racing in. And,
I did.
And you've got some racing coming up quite a bit. First of all, the Summit Series.
Summit Series, what is it, 5 and 6 this Saturday and Sunday.
5 and 6. And
coming up. And then we have one weekend off. Then we'll come back and do our Saturday night street tuner again, and then we'll do ANRA.
And we've got the Summit Series, which we've got some slides here, which is a race. And it's also, stop on this slide, a test and tune.
We have an open test and tune lane.
So we got Tom Mock caught you out there in your Mercedes doing a little burnout. And
now that car, actually, I can just read on the windshield, SPT. That car ran in Sportsman, so it's got a number.
So that's not
SPT,
your car.
So it's not my car. No. If it was mine, I wouldn't be doing that to it. But yeah.
So actually, that did run there. So, but you can't
actually.
test
If that was mine, that'd be my wife's. And if she caught me doing that,
you'd be in trouble. That would be your wife's, and yours would be the truck because you need a work truck.
Exactly.
That would be your wife's car, and you would not be driving.
But you're right. Open test and tune lane. I've already got some phone calls from some nitro guys coming and testing this weekend. So.
And there you go. There's the thing about Famoso.
You never know.
You never know. You go out there, and then you get to watch a little nitro guys testing. So. Krista Sudham, she's had a tough time. She's had transmission problems.
Boy, last year she was just on top of the world, and this year just having some trouble. Yeah, you're right, mostly tranny problems.
Problems, but I understand they got that dialed in. She went 3 or 4 rounds at Fontana Run.
Yeah, she raced last weekend, I think, down at Chris Forsyth's big bracket shootout there. So I think
she lost him.
She'll do okay.
3rd or 4th round, but right on her dial in, and the reaction times were good. So whatever the problems were with the car, looks like apparently Chris has got that.
Yeah.
So and there you go. On top of the world last year.
Yep.
And couldn't get down the racetrack this year. Well, it's that type of sport.
It will.
Isn't it?
We see it in the even in the big show, the NHRA guys. That one guy like right now, Ron Capps, just can't do no wrong, and then something will happen, and somebody else will get on a hot streak, and it just
that's 4 in a row for Ron Capps, which they're running this weekend after a weekend off.
Yeah.
And the Nitro guys are gearing up for the Nostalgia guys, gearing up for various races coming up.
Yeah, Bowling Green's in a couple weeks, and then the Funny Car guys have They have a race up in Mission, Canada, I believe, in early July, and then they have mid-August. It's going to be Boise.
And Dell had his little 330-foot thing down there,
Verona, right? Yeah.
Outside of San Diego, where they basically, and it was full-fledged, some modern nitro cars. There's stuff in it. 330
feet all out.
Get out and get on the brakes and get it rolled down because you don't want to go off the cliff.
Not a lot of shutdown there.
Not a lot of shutdown. So that you do that. Just a little nitro fun. 330 feet. That it makes me think of sand drag racing.
Exactly what it is. So yep. So and back to Dale. Hopefully our buddy Chuck's doing okay. Chuck stayed home from the last race and got some surgery done. So. We talked to him beginning of the year, and he had it all. Is all scheduled, all planned. Everything was going to go in. So, doesn't sound real serious because it was all planned out. We're actually talking to him at the Winter Nationals, and they were going to go do that this time of year. So, it sounds like they're just getting in there and getting some stuff fixed up.
And Chuck and Dale, big backers of racing all things.
You bet.
And they were in the part of the nostalgia funny car scene for a while because Dale had his own nostalgia car. He sold it a few years ago. I remember one time we talked to him.
Yeah,
he's driving the truck.
Yeah,
driving the semi, getting ready to come up here. He called in.
He called us while
driving the semi. Yeah. So you got to like guys that drive the semi and stuff.
It's old school approach with those guys.
We talked about the nitro stuff real quick about Ron Capps being on roll.
Yeah.
Well, a couple years ago, it was Jack Beckman with laid back headers that everybody finally couldn't
figure out what they were doing.
Okay, and all of a sudden that was for the West Coast swing, and then by the time you just got to be hot at the end of the season, most sports. Well, NASCAR and drag racing now with the chase.
Yeah,
get your wins, be in there.
Yeah,
but you want to be on the roll in the last few races.
It's funny they're not suspecting Ron of not that they're guilty of anything, just that they haven't figured anything out. They're just running really well. So
really well and
it's just a tick better and consistent. So better. When Jack did his thing, I mean, it was just like, where did this come from?
Right.
That's when everybody was like, what are they doing?
This is really he's just eking out the wins over guys who are just right there but not quite
there.
Yeah. And we're talking about 0.05 difference. We're not talking about a tenth of a second here.
Exactly,
we're talking about,
which is what Jack did.
We're talking about
so they're doing something. What is it?
You know, when you get the finish line, a half car to a car.
Right.
If everything goes well. So
he's just been driving really well.
What are you expecting for the Summit Series? This is races 5 and 6. So heading into the last second half of the season for these guys.
Yeah, this should be kind of our biggest car count of the year with Summit because it's sort of the deciding factor. If you're still in the chase, the championship chase for the last races of the year, you know, but what's keeping a lot of guys coming is you get to be, if you're in the top 4, I think it is, maybe it's 5, race of champions at our ET finals. That's if you finish in top 4 or 5 of each of our categories: Super Pro, Pro, Sportsman, Motorcycle. You get to be in a special event at the ET finals.
A race of champions.
Yeah.
And that special event at the ET finals probably has dollar signs in front of it as well.
It has dollar signs and also has a trip to the World Championships in Pomona.
So if you finish in the top 4 or 5 in each of the 4,
I think it's 5. Yeah.
If you finish in the top 5 in each of the 4 Summit Series,
you're automatically in.
You're automatically into the race of champions.
And that takes place on Sunday of our event. The Saturday is the regular. Everyone just does our Super Pro, Pro, Sportsman, Motorcycle, and then if you win that, you get to go into the Sunday Championship.
Finals are where?
In Las Vegas.
Vegas.
It'll be the first weekend of October this year. Yeah.
And that rotates around?
Well, it's been in Vegas 2 years in a row. We decided as a group, we met in December as track operators to keep it in Vegas for this year. To see, we had a really big car count jump last year. So we're wanting to make sure, you know.
Maybe, I'll go to Vegas for the weekend. And
we allow a lot of guys to double enter. This, for the first time, they could double enter their car into different categories. So that really helped. But Vegas always helps. You always get more spectators because people want to go to Vegas.
So you could you could enter your car in
Super Pro and Pro, say,
and slow it down.
Or
same car.
Yeah, or Pro and Sportsman.
So there you go.
So
the marveling of electronics and throttle stops.
Yeah, and obviously that's a Super Pro category has all the bells and whistles. But
if you get you're able to enter in 2 categories. It costs you a little more. You get twice.
A little more. You get twice the chances, and it if 100 guys do it, you just added 100 cars to your car count without actually having 100 cars in your pit spaces. So it made sense, and we always see more spectators there in Las Vegas just because more families willing to come out and watch. If you're in Vegas, we'll come watch you.
We'll come watch you if you're in Vegas. We'll go. So there you go. So you can experiment with that a little bit and see if that works.
So we saw an increase in spectator count at that race, increase in car count. So we're just going to try it again this year and see how it does.
Never a bad
thing. If it keeps working, might just stay in Vegas.
There you go.
We need the car count. We need the spectators to make the race profitable for the tracks that do it. So
right.
It's very expensive. There's good purses involved in this, but with good purses
it's not a huge spectator event, so it's a back gate.
We call it back gate. Yeah,
backgate generated event.
So it's got to make money. You know, you just can't go out there and do it and not make money.
Well, that's been going on.
Oh gosh,
since
you were
the late
'70s.
I was
early version of it,
in the very first one.
Yeah.
Remember, Chloe Fitzgerald, the head of NHRA Tech, was there teching a bracket race, which was pretty impressive. There were probably 400 cars for that first one. It was huge.
Yeah, that was all under
Marvin
Miller started doing that, and it evolved into different events, and then it started rotating around. So it's been around for a long time.
So we go ahead and show this slide again of what's coming up at
I think I saw our track mascot or our track official track.
Yeah, your official. It's now the official slide.
It's not really a mascot because it's a live animal. So
Yeah,
I guess
it's
our
kind of the official slide right now. we like dogs.
Yes,
and we like dogs that like drag
racing. We like dogs with ear protection too. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that's our schedule for June right there. You're looking at.
You got the street tourney event coming up, and that was very, very good on your first one of the years.
Yes,
well over 200.
219 cars.
219
and bikes
cars.
total. Yeah.
And the weather will be a little warmer, which is fine.
Yeah.
For this event. And
we go so late.
You go late, but maybe you get that 250, 260 out there.
Be nice.
So and it's just, hey, anybody who wants to try drag racing, this is the night. Go on out, take your car out there, see what it does.
And ask questions.
Ask questions.
Not sure.
People will be there to help you.
You bet.
And then coming up on June 24th and 25th, the always popular Andover Spring Nationals, although it's actually after the first day of summer.
Yeah,
I always like to get butchy on that.
Yeah. It's usually about 100 degrees. So
and there he is.
And there.
Wear your protection. Take
we
your
think
dogs.
it's a he. I'm not
sure. It's a dog. We know it's a dog.
There it is.
And it looked happy because it was at a racetrack. I want to thank you for coming in, Blake. I'll let you go get ready for the graduations. And congratulations on that. And good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, we'll be back next week with another Power Hour talking about all kinds of racing.